hunger has been a problem not only among the poor in the Philippines but in other countries as well. Various programs have been put in place to lessen, if not totally eradicate, such problem. The Aquino government has not been wanting in this endeavor. With us tonight is Secretary Dinky Soliman of the Department of Social Welfare and Development. Good evening, ma'am, and welcome to NewsLife.
Good evening, David, and good evening to your televiewers.
Okay, ma'am, just to start us off, ma'am, your reaction, please, to the hunger of to the Global Hunger Index that lists the Philippines in 31st place in a group of 79 countries using data culled between the years 2005 to 2010.
Yes, we continue to respond to the different programs that we are conducting, specifically to address hunger. This is something that we came upon as we came in as public servants in 2010, and it will take time to actually declare the Philippines hunger-free. Some of the things that we are doing are the key things that we are doing. It's supplementary feeding, which provides for funds from the national government, DSWD, to the public daycare centers through the local government unit, and that's about 49,000 public daycare centers, and that's 5 days in a week. A meal is provided for the children, 3 to 4 years old, and the mothers are the ones who cook the food, usually rice and a viand, and the recipe is was done by the National Nutrition Council and SNRI, which encourages the mothers to buy from the local markets and vegetables that can be grown and or taken from the garden. Also, the conditional cash transfer, in terms of the what we call spot checks, that means the social weather station goes through a randomly to areas and checks on the implementation of the program. One of the findings is that the cash that they receive actually goes to food. Yes. 30% of that goes to food, mainly rice. And of course, DepEd has encouraged gulayan sa eskwelahan, and that's another supplementation to the situation of hunger.
Ma'am, with these programs that you have mentioned, how far have we progressed since the past few years and up until now?
Well, right now we have social weather station feedback on the self-perception on hunger, and as you can, if you can recall, it has gone down, it has gone up, it has gone down. So that means it's still very volatile. And we're developing a measurement now that will allow us to be more sensitive to hunger and hunger situations on time, real time. And we hope to put that in place by next year, first part of the year.
Ma'am, do we have an exact number or percentage on how many Filipinos are either on the poverty line or below the poverty line who are still hungry these days?
We do have a National Household Targeting System for Poverty Reduction, and there are 5.2 million families who are poor. And when you're poor, it does not necessarily mean that you experience hunger every day. Because most of those who are in a survival level, that means you, sa Tagalog, isang kahig, isang tuka, or when you don't move, you won't be able to eat, are able to find food on a regular basis, at least to ensure that they have food 3 times in a day. But the hunger situation is something that we are working closely with National Nutrition Council and the Food and Nutrition Research Institute, because hunger and malnutrition are 2 different things.
Ma'am, with the programs like the CCT and the supplemental feeding programs, what other programs are being done in terms of bringing in, helping them in terms of livelihood so that in the future they can actually fend for themselves instead of getting like the CCT and all these supplemental feeding program, so that in the future they could actually fend for themselves?
We have a sustainable livelihood program that is also part of DSWD, and we're focusing on 321,000 families who are transitioning to self-sufficiency by the end of 2013. Job generation is also a mandate for all national government agencies to support and to create so that we can generate jobs that will provide for sustainable livelihood.
Ma'am, going back to the supplemental feeding program in the thousands of daycare centers nationwide, are there other sectors helping the DSWD in terms of helping like the private sector and all that?
We're working very closely with NGOs and some foundations, and the foundations are doing supplementary feeding on their own, especially in smaller, not daycare centers but neighborhood plays, and they also have NGOs, faith-based organizations, and foundations have their own daycare centers, so they also do supplementary feeding for the children whom they are taking care of at the daycare centers that they run.
Now, going back to the CCT program, there have been allegations that not all beneficiaries of the conditional cash transfer program are poor. Have we addressed such concern?
Yes, we have already delisted 71,000 families. They can text or call or email. We have a grievance redress system in every province, and on that basis, we investigate complaints and take action.
And ma'am, finally, any final word or any other programs that the DSWD is doing right now to help mitigate hunger here in the Philippines?
Well, we also we have our crisis intervention unit, which actually can provide immediately relief to people who have nothing to eat. They come to the place and we provide them some cash so that they can eat, as well as the social pension fund for fragile, sickly senior citizens who are in need for additional funds so that they can buy food, and so that's 500 pesos every month, which we give out every quarter.
Okay, and now thank you very much for joining us tonight, ma'am. That was DSWD Secretary Dinky Soliman. Thank you.
Thank you.